तो सेल्फलेस फ्रेंडशिप्स होती वो वहाँ है जब आप जेन्युइनली किसी के लिए कनेक्ट फील करते हो, ठीक है। और अगर वो कनेक्ट रेसिप्रोकेट नहीं हो रहा सामने से, सो उसमें आपको एक्सपेक्टेशन दूसरे से नहीं करनी। आपने एक मतलब आई गिव यू दैट शाहरुख खान डायलॉग, एक तरफा प्यार, ठीक है। इट्स द सेम थिंग, यू डन फ्रॉम योर साइड, व्हाई डू यू एक्सपेक्ट द अदर पर्सन आल्सो टू रेसिप्रोकेट? उनको शायद आपसे कोई मतलब मिल रहा होगा, आज मतलब खत्म हुआ, इट इज ओके, ठीक है। बट आपने जब वो दोस्ती करी, आपने ये नहीं एक्सपेक्ट करना कि वो सामने वाला क्या कर रहा है। यू आर जस्ट डूइंग बीइंग योर ओन बेस्ट फ्रेंड। बस गॉड से आप ये क्यों जाके मांगते हो कि मुझे ये चाहिए इसलिए मैं आऊँगा और 10 रुपये दूंगा या 20 रुपये दूंगा? वाई? Go, God is giving me this life. I am doing the task that you've sent me for. I'm doing very well. And whatever you think you need to give it to me, give. You don't want to give, don't give. That's exactly the point you need to make.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today it's our 4th episode with our eminent guest, Ms Archana Malik Ma'am. Let me introduce herself. She is a head of Center of Professional Enhancement at Lovely Professional University, and moreover, I will feel ma'am will tell you. So, ma'am, how are you doing today?
I am very well. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?
I am fine, ma'am. How was your day?
Very good.
I think you are a very lot busy person, and
I think for any one of us who's busy, it's a little overhyped word. Even if you're studying, you're occupied in the day. So it was an occupied day, which feels to be more constructive, which is nice. If you're able to bring that value, why not?
okay, sure, ma'am. Ma'am, why not we just start with something else?
Like?
Some questions.
Go ahead.
Okay, so ma'am, my first ever question is, tell me about yourself which you haven't shared in LinkedIn, or something which you think is personal and you have to share.
Personally, I'm sure it's an entire story altogether. However, I think there are a lot of things which have not been shared on LinkedIn. Or if you talk professionally, I would have not mentioned a lot of certifications that I've done, a lot of courses that I've done, a lot of beliefs that I would have. So those things would have not been mentioned on and off. They would have mentioned. I would have probably gone and mentioned the things where I think I would have been able to add a lot of value. Though I am somebody who has a very strong quest to learn, so I would be doing courses often. But I don't get the time to upload a lot of stuff every day, so that is there. A lot of certifications that I've done are not mentioned there.
You even do courses. Although you are a senior head of Center of Professional University.
All of us do courses. I think all of us are learning. I'm sitting with you. I'm also learning something. So formally, if you're learning, you are bringing more value to yourself, value to the students, especially in this profession. When you're taking it forward to the students, you're bringing about a change. So why not? I think that's important today.
You are also learning from this podcast as well.
Why not? I am learning this. How young you are, how passionately you started, and it is your 4th episode, and you're doing so amazingly well. That is something that I've learned.
What are the skills that company are looking forward to in the candidate or a person who is aiming for that?
So primarily, it's on 2 bases.
Okay.
One of the major things that any company is looking for is depending on the job profile that they have. So there's a lot to do with the skill set, a lot to do with the competencies, a lot to do with the attitude. That's important. Secondly, as for the job profile, whatever is required. Today, I think post the pandemic, it's extremely important that no company is actually looking for anybody who has an I factor. When I say I, you can draw an I. So if I know one skill and I'm extremely good in that skill, I have a depth of that skill. Say about Java, say about C, C++, or maybe I'm saying digital marketing. I'm only good with that is not going to help. People today are looking for a T way. Okay, when I say T, so you are supposed to be very good with one. However, you should know everything else also. So we are gone with those days when we say, jack of all trades and master of none. Today you want jack of all trades and master of one.
Okay, nice. This will boost my next question.
Go ahead.
So, ma'am, how can a person clear noise from the message? Basically, I am just asking for a smart goal setting. Like, I'm a first undergraduate, and I have a lot of aspirations, lot of exploration, and I'm just chasing it. I'm putting my mind in all the different things. But at the last, I have to choose any one, and how to set that smart goal setting. I have to ask to you.
Okay, so let's first understand that this is not a noise. All of us have started believing that we're not sure about things, and this is a noise. Personally, I don't believe it's a noise. It's a lot of opportunities that are coming your way, which probably you did not know before. So you are getting options, and every single day. I'll give you an example. You would have not known about AI ML when you were young.
Sure.
You did not know about IoT when you were young. Ethical hacking, no. Today you're talking about different other things that are clouding the market every second day. So as and when there's something new, like a child, you get fascinated by it and you want to get into that. Very soon you realize, okay, that's not my niche, or this is not that's giving me that kick, this is not giving me that drive. So you move to the next one. This instant gratification should not be there. Okay, that thing that, okay, I want everything with a click of a mouse or a tap of a finger should not be there. However, it's nice to go out and everything, try 20 different things and then decide what you actually want to do. So for clearing that, you will have to have either experience of it, or have your mentors closely who can guide you on it, or probably have your friends who've experienced and then learn from it. So you may have a mix and a blend of everything also. That depends. Everybody is a different kind of a learner.
Ma'am, what do you do for fun? Like, what are your hobbies and how you de-stress yourself, and how do you make yourself happy? I would ask.
I think I'm a very happy person by nature. That is one. Okay.
Okay.
Happiness is, in my fundamental, is not dependent on anything and anybody. It is upon me. I am probably drawing a lot of happiness here, sitting. These 20-25 minutes that I'm spending with you are giving me my happiness in my own thing. That, okay, I experienced this today after a very long time, so it's great. Okay. It's not dependent, one. Secondly, what are my hobbies? I love to read. I'm an avid reader. I like to spend quality time with my family. I have very firm quality time. I break away from things and then I spend that. I enjoy long drives. Okay. If I am in the zone where I can, then I enjoy horse riding a lot and adventure sports, only if time permits.
Okay. Ma'am, would you like to suggest me any 3 books?
Depends, you liked fiction, non-fiction, what?
It depends on self-growth.
Self-growth, one of the best books is Attitude is Everything by Jeff Keller. The second one would be these days a lot in Habit. Okay, that could be another one. I'm reading something very beautiful these days. I would like to suggest that one, Being Gratitude.
Okay, nice. Ma'am, next question would be,
Go ahead.
like, how does the student attitude should be if he is aiming something big? And what by here attitude means, what must be his surrounding? What must be his thinking of some perspective? I want to ask you.
So I'll give you a very simple example. When a child is born and there's a ball thrown around or a toy around, what does the child focus on? Goes towards that ball. And then he or she fancies something else, and there's another toy that he or she sees and then goes around their way. But there's something that comes from inside that drives it towards it. Maybe that red color, maybe that shining color, maybe the size of it, whatever it is. Okay. Similarly, when as an individual you're going ahead with anything that you have in mind, anything as a goal, anything as a fantasy that you have towards, or any aim that you have, you should be able to focus on that, because what you're getting in return, that happiness, is extremely important. So the attitude a person should have is to be completely merge yourself inside it, have that drive, go, do it and never back down. That's it. Give it a shot. Even if you fail, it's okay, but give that shot.
And what should be a professional ethic of a student?
When you mean professional ethics, everybody has to be loyal towards the work that you're doing. It's not about the companies that you need to be loyal towards, you need to be loyal towards work. If I'm doing a work towards maybe as an academician here, as a trainer here, or maybe I'm here to deliver something, I have to be honest to the work that I'm doing and what I'm saying to you. That should be a professional ethic. You should not go beyond the wrong.
And many of the times people think that they have to aim for a very big package, whether they have a knowledge or not, whether they are lacking skills or not. What do you think, and do you want to comment or describe something about this more specifically?
Okay, I think to aspire to achieve something, that's extremely important. Money is a byproduct. People should not focus on money. If you're good at something, money will automatically come. It's easier said than done. A lot of us believe that, nahi ma'am, aap ek point pe pahunch gaye, it's easy for you to speak. Not really. If you actually passionately are able to bring a difference to something that you're actually in, you'll draw happiness. If you're happy, you'll be able to do work many-fold and you'll be able to multiply into 5x. Once you're doing that, money will automatically come. Okay, so there is nothing wrong in having aspirations. However, the methods should be correct. That is important. And if somebody is not competent, is not skilled, the way I've said before, you need to dive deep. You need to find where you are. You need to know your market value. You need to know what the industry is demanding out of you, and be on that hunger to always learn. That's extremely important. It's not necessary you need to always develop your skills. Develop your professional skills, develop your soft skills, develop your overall. Maybe I'd like to invest my time in cooking, maybe in gardening, maybe in something that you draw happiness out of, and then get very good at it. That's important.
मैम एज अ लीडर आपको क्या लगता है कि एक टीम लीडर को क्या क्या एफर्ट्स डालने चाहिए अपनी टीम को मैनेज करने के लिए और रिसेशन होने से बचाने के लिए?
I think recession is something that's completely different, but as a leader, few efforts that you can always make is to understand your team well. That's extremely important. Understand the needs, what drives them, and have a connect. I've always believed this very firmly that you need to invest in people. The results will come out. Whether I'm investing in a child or I'm investing in a team member or you're investing in your helpers at home, whatever it is, your driver, anybody, you're investing in people and people remember how you made them feel. Sure. Or if you know them well, that is more important than anything else. And if you're able to make that delta difference in their lives, that's the biggest thing. And if you're talking about recession per se here, if you have that drive and you're able to tell them to focus on their career as such and develop their competencies, skill sets and be good, be so valuable that if a company wants to let go of you, they don't. And even if they do because of bad timings or just policies and stuff like that, they're not able to make money. So other companies should always be ready to grab you. That's important.
Ma'am, then how to make a perfect team member?
How to be a perfect team member? No.
कैसे ढूंढना चाहिए? How to make a perfect team member?
I think there is nothing.
How to find a perfect team member?
Okay, I think there's nothing as a perfect team member. All of us become a family. एक family में भी drifts होते हैं, ठीक है? Similarly, when you come together, you learn a lot from each other. You complement each other, and you should not have yes men around. It's a very common old saying कि कुछ leaders को ऐसा लगता है कि आप सिर्फ जो कर रहे हो बाकी सबको yes होना चाहिए. Yes sir, yes ma'am. No, that should not be there. एक leader तभी एक valuable leader है जब he or she is comfortable, confident and secure in the skill set that they have and they're ready to accept criticism. Ultimately, end of the day, I will have limited knowledge. I should be open to people who come across and deliver more knowledge, and that is where I should be able to build a team. Sure. Knowledge, if I am the only one who has all the knowledge, then I don't need a team, right? Then I should be the buy all and if all. But no, that should not be the case. Here it has to be that everybody comes and complements each other, that's required. And people, even if they bring a little difference to the team or they are able to bring a little value, that is important. So you need to make sure you're complementing everybody and you know your DNA. You understand what is the right DNA and you develop them and you make them work together. That's it.
Sure. Ma'am, team की बातें चल रही है. So I should ask one more question. कि like team को grow कैसे करना चाहिए और आपकी team में कितने particular member होने चाहिए? मैम ऐसा भी कहा जाता है कि ज़्यादा बड़ी टीम भी नहीं होनी चाहिए, ऐसे भी कहा जाता है कि सारी छोटी टीम भी नहीं होनी चाहिए और टीम अच्छे से ग्रो कैसे करे वो भी नहीं पता, तो आप थोड़ा बता सकते हो?
So there's nothing like a छोटी टीम और बड़ी टीम for a very simple reason, depends on the work profile that you have. ठीक है, कुछ काम के लिए आपको एक छोटी सी टीम मेंबर भी बहुत है, कईयों के लिए आपको एक बहुत बड़ी टीम चाहिए होगी. Depends on the scale that you're working on, depends on what are your deliverables. Okay, so there's no fixed formula to it. However, what's important is anybody who's in the team is able to bring value to the table. Okay, and bring that difference, and the person is whatever your return on investment is. आपने उसमें जितना invest करा है, जितना उसकी competencies में invest करा है, the person is able to deliver that much. That's important. How do you bring that difference, or how do you judge it? There's no rule book for it, and every company would have different. I'll give you a quick example. A lot of startups have done amazingly well. A lot of unicorns have made a lot of money, while a lot of them have failed. कुछ लोग कुछ छोटे से एक डॉर्म से शुरू हुए हैं, एक हॉस्टल रूम से शुरू है और कुछ लोगों ने एक बड़ी कंपनी गैराज से भी शुरू करी है. सो इट्स नॉट एनी पर्टिकुलर फॉर्मूला, इट जस्ट हैज़ टू बी वेयर यू हिट टुगेदर विद द लाइक माइंडेड पीपल एंड हाउ डू यू ब्रिंग दैट अक्रॉस. एंड द बेस्ट अबाउट टुडेज वर्ल्ड इज आई थिंक एवरीबडी इज वेरी ओपन टू शेयर आइडियाज, सो व्हाई नॉट.
Great perspective. And consistency also matters
a lot. Anything and everything today is all about consistency.
So ma'am, how was your career progression? As आपने जब LP को join किया था in 2010, you were an assistant professor, then you HOD, then head of the department, then CD right now. So how was your career growth?
Nice, beautiful, enriching. That's all I can say. But I think more of a learning experience and a very satisfying and fulfilling journey. The reason for that being that when I started this career at LPU, I knew I could bring a difference to a few lives. As in when you grow, you are able to bring ideas. Those ideas are well accepted, and then you collect your kind of right team members and you put across those ideas and you're able to deliver them. Okay, and then it's not only you who's making that tiny difference, it's also your team making the same difference in different directions. And when you move again ahead together, you also make sure you're developing opportunities and creating more leaders. So it's not only you, now probably the ideas come from not from the top, rather they come from the bottom, which is beautiful. So it's very fulfilling.
Ma'am, what are the challenges you faced as a woman, if any? It is mainly question asked for especially women aspirants or female aspirants who are willing to do the same work as you are doing. Also, there are so many of female aspirants who are willing to join army, navy, air force, and some other categories, which like एक जनरल पर्सपेक्टिव होता है ना सबका कि हमारी बेटी या तो डॉक्टर या तो इंजीनियर या तो कुछ यही होता है, बट समथिंग अबाउट मतलब उसके हट के कुछ करना, सो उसमें कुछ चैलेंजेस होते हैं. आपको क्या चैलेंजेस फेस हुए, अगर कुछ हुए तो?
So interestingly, मुझे कोई challenges face नहीं हुए. I come from a family where we are both daughters. We have not had anything, no brother in the family. We've got cousins and all. So this thing of a boy-girl was never faced in the family itself. Okay. So one is that I've gone and done everything that a boy does just because there was nobody, or that is the way we were brought up. So if the first thing was taught, if you know how to drive a car, you should know how to change the tire of a puncture. You're supposed to do all that. तो fact कहीं था ही नहीं, कोई comparison था नहीं. So मेरे लिए वो चीज़ कभी नहीं आई. Similarly, I think if I talk about work, interestingly, since you've asked this question, I am able to reflect that I have more girls in my team than men, and the ratio is extremely towards the girls. I have only a handful of men. I've just realized that. Again, it doesn't come because of a bias. It is very, very clear. Everybody is open to deliver things. I think ये generalization हमें break करनी चाहिए. Why do you think when you talk about a nursery teacher, why does a mind reflect a female faculty? When you talk about a nurse, why do you think about a female nurse? Nurse is a profession.
Right.
It can be a male. Why do you think a gynecologist may not be a man? So there's nothing. You need to be good in your skill. That's important. You need to be competent irrespective of the gender. However, I cannot deny the fact that there is a glass ceiling that does exist. I come from the industry and I have seen that. And I hear stories around. And I think if you bring across that little change in one person's life and you're able to get that support of another lady, okay, and you're able to support another girl up, I think there's a difference. And I think not only girls in terms of boys also, because if a boy is also able to see this change around and you're able to embrace it in your life, there is no difference. I don't see my team members, any one of them ever pointing this out. Otherwise, this would have come to me long back that, okay, there are more girls in the team. I have just realized it today on your interview. So I don't think so. Though it does exist, and you'll have to break your barriers and talk about it. And believe me, if you ask for help, there will be 20,000 people out there to help you. So if any girl needs help, give a shout. There will be people, even men will come out to support. Because people believe in equality today. They don't have that gender thing. Though a lot of professions, when you're talking about defense or various other professions, do face this little challenge of people not being safe or parents not asking them to join that profession. And I think we will be able to only make a difference once we go there and prove. So you have to go all in, prove yourself, and then success stories will follow.
Definitely. Ma'am, like there are a lot of distractions like social media, relationship, most importantly. So these are some of the distractions, how to handle this. Like I'm a first year undergraduate and there are a lot of things which came to my mind, a lot of distractions, Instagram, Snapchat, many of the social sites are there which used to reflect my mind there. There are so many things. So how to handle this?
See, you'll have to sit with yourself and decide. A parent, a teacher, a guide, a mentor can come and just tell you that, okay, you should do this, you should not do it. Our way is only to guide you. The maximum can be you do realize it from other people's learning. However, what's going to be most interesting for you is going to be only once you experience it and you realize, which probably might be a little too late. So it's important for you to, if you have that fantasy of getting into stuff, go get it, but don't venture beyond a point. You should be able to. If you're talking about relationships, I think if you're in a genuine relationship, there's nothing wrong with it. You should wear your heart on your sleeve. You're investing, and if you have a good person, any form of relationship, even a friendship, is extremely fulfilling. You need that support. You are here, studying in a hostel. You have friends around. That is your first family, and if you need any help, they're going to be coming around, right? So it is absolutely fine, but just that you should keep your priorities in mind, how much and where to develop. Social media or any other thing, there has to be a cutoff. You need to spend time with yourself. I have very clear rules. I switch off my phones an hour in the morning, an hour in the night. The world is not going to die without me, and I know it. My family is around me, and they know if I'm not able to reach out and they're not able to reach out, what are the other ways to reach out? You will have to focus. That's important.
I have a very general question. Like, are women paid less as comparison to men? If yes, then why?
Okay. This is a common thing, and I cannot deny that it doesn't exist. It does exist. In a lot of industries, it does exist. However, I think it's interesting to see that today people do realize the value that you bring irrespective of the gender, and this is going away. However, it did exist at a point of time, and there are certain people who still come out and say, okay, in comparison to somebody else, I am perceived in a certain fashion. And it is there. You can't close your eyes and say it doesn't exist. It does. There is a difference. It's great for a lot of organizations that don't have this. To add to it, a lot of companies today have a lot of policies which are moving from women to men. Giving an example, I think yesterday's newspaper had something very important, that it's not only maternity leaves that have, a lot of people also have paternity leaves. Okay, so there are a lot of things that people now need to understand that they are going away with. However, if there is a difference, it's time for women to get up and ask, and if not, also for the men to start understanding that there's nothing about the gender anymore. It is more about what value do you bring to the table and how much difference can you bring. The day the people see, I think it will go away. It is there, however.
Apart from all the side, a general question है, like, having a girlfriend or having in a relationship of someone, is it good or bad? क्योंकि कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हमारे पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं कि गर्लफ्रेंड आ गई, बिगड़ गया बच्चा, something happens. तो क्या सही में ऐसा होता है? गर्लफ्रेंड क्या सही में?
Why only girlfriend, boyfriend नहीं बिगाड़ सकता? Why are you getting gender specific? Okay, again, the way I said, relationships only make you learn. Okay? You develop as a person. It's not about, I'll give you a quick example. Please pick up, you get a girl, kind of a friend in your life, or you get irrespective of the gender, you have a friend in life. वो आपको 4 अच्छी चीज़ें सिखाएंगे, 2 बुरी चीज़ें सिखाएंगे. उसमें भी पेरेंट्स यही बोलेंगे कि बेटा किस कंपनी में हो, वॉच आउट करो. इट्स नॉट कि उनकी इंटेंशन इस तरफ है कि वो आप एक रिलेशनशिप पे हो. हमारा कल्चर है जहाँ पेरेंट्स आज की डेट में बहुत ओपन नहीं है टुवर्ड्स इट. हाउएवर, इफ यू आर एबल टू फाइंड अ पार्टनर एंड यू आर एबल मेच्योरली एबल टू हैंडल इट, व्हाई नॉट? अल्टीमेटली, interestingly or sadly, all of us today have a lot of emotional support that you need. And most of your generation is staying away from your family, so you don't get that emotional support. So you get that support from somebody around you. Okay? You should not immediately jump into things and commit into things. That's important. You should take your own time. That's there. But I don't see a challenge. Everybody is only growing. You learn a lot of things out of it. You develop as a person. You complement each other. And what if you actually make a beautiful couple?
Sure. Ma'am, how to trust someone? Like, some of the time, there are, हम ट्रस्ट कर लेते किसी पे और टूट जाता है. ठीक है, कभी भी ट्रस्ट बरकरार नहीं रहता. आई एम काइंड ऑफ अ पर्सन हु ट्रस्ट एनीवन सो इजीली, और वो हमेशा वैनिश हो जाता है. सो हाउ टू हैंडल दैट?
That's okay. That's absolutely fine. I think ये शायद innate है. We've all seen जब हम बच्चे कितना पैदा होते हैं, ठीक है, जब आप कभी पार्टी पे जाते हो, कोई और आपको मिलता है, वो आपको हवा में उछालता है और आपको वो ट्रस्ट होता है कि वो आपको पकड़ लेगा. आपने, इट्स ह्यूमन नेचर टू ट्रस्ट. ठीक है, सो नन ऑफ अस आर गोइंग टू चेंज फ्रॉम दैट. नन ऑफ अस. आप जब पैदा होते हो, आप तब से वो चीज़ कर रहे हो. इट्स ओके. ट्रस्ट ब्रेक तब होता है जब आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशंस बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाती है बियॉन्ड अ पॉइंट. ठीक है, जब आपकी लिमिटेड एक्सपेक्टेशंस होंगी और आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशंस वहाँ होनी चाहिए जहाँ सही है. बियॉन्ड अ पॉइंट एक्सपेक्टेशंस तो किसी से भी गलत है ना.
And importance of mental well-being in current generation. Also, what are the work-life balance which you think should be done?
Extremely important. I think one of the best questions that you've asked for today. We get stressed for anything. He's not answered my phone call. She's not responded. Where is she? Who is he with? What is my boss thinking about me? What are my colleagues thinking about me? We have too many expectations and fallacies around us, which is absolutely wrong. Okay. हम किसी भी बात पे आज की डेट में स्ट्रेस ले लेते हैं, and I wonder why. ठीक है, you need to understand this. I think we are very insecure today as individuals, which is something because of which there was always a comparison, और हम शायद proving oneself, और वो हर चीज़ वो मेरे को चाहिए, ये मुझे चाहिए, वो मुझे चाहिए में हम कहीं ना कहीं इतने insecure हो गए हैं कि ये एक चैलेंज हो गया आज की डेट में. It's extremely important that you're contented with yourself, you understand yourself, you understand your emotions well. To express emotions is also very important, जहाँ आज की डेट में I think most of us don't do that, which results in a lot of mental challenges, mental health challenges. Today, we focus a lot on mental health, and I think that is more important than physical health, and it's not coming because of COVID, it is coming generally also. Honestly, there's something known as SI today that is not moving ahead. It's also spiritual intelligence. आज की डेट में people are also moving how much time do you meditate, how like-minded people can come together. So that is extremely important. If your mind is your biggest enemy or your biggest friend, you may train it to positive or negative, totally your call. It's extremely important to be mentally fit and then physically. If I train my mind, I can probably fly. I will be able to fly. That's a fact.
And many of the time हम लोग कुछ good friends बना लेते हैं, true friends बना लेते हैं, ठीक है, हम उनसे expectations भी ले लेते हैं, they are long back our close friend as well, ठीक है, but most of the time they betrays us, ठीक है, and मतलब कुछ हमारे साथ गलत हो जाता है उनके साथ, तो वो situation हमारा दोस्ती भी तोड़ देता है, कुछ भी हो जाता है, उस situation को हम overcome कैसे कर सकते हैं?
Okay, so I'll answer it in two parts. One, expectations होना itself has to be very well thought of, ठीक है? आपको ideally when you are here, you need to only expect out of yourself. You cannot expect. There is no free lunch on this earth. You need to understand that. Parents आज हैं, कल नहीं होंगे. Sister brothers आज साथ हैं, कल नहीं होंगे. And you're talking about friendships and relationships जो कल को साथ नहीं देंगे, which can be there just because life moves on. Very simply. So one, don't have expectations out of others because ये आपने सोचा कोई उसके लिव अप नहीं हो तो आप खुद से डिसअपॉइंटेड ज़्यादा हो. इट्स नॉट कि आप उससे डिसअपॉइंटेड हो, आपको गुस्सा खुद पे है कि मैंने उससे सोचा था और वो ऐसा निकला. तो इट्स अ डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव. However, if you've gone through it, it's very, very simple. You will have to sit with yourself, tell yourself, okay, this is where I need to. मैं उसके लिए अच्छा करूँ, that's important. उसके बाद रिटर्न करना ना करना वो उनके ऊपर है. आपको अपनी तरफ से एक इन्वेस्टमेंट करनी है, अच्छा करना है. जब एक मदर प्यार करती है बच्चे को, वो कभी नहीं है सोचती कि बच्चा मुझे रिटर्न में बड़े होकर मेरी सेवा करेगा. No mother does that, right? So it's extremely important. You need to have that dying love for thing or people, which is very difficult to have, which is very, very difficult to have, and I understand it. It's going to get more difficult when you move to professional world. However, you've invested, you wanted to give it all, and then just go ahead.
And sometimes we make a selfishness friend. Friendship selfishness में वैसे बहुत सारे लोग मुझे selfish में बनाते हैं. But sometimes we make selfishness friendship, and that got broken. तब क्या करेंगे?
तो सेल्फलेस फ्रेंडशिप्स होती वो वहाँ हैं जब आप जेन्युइनली किसी के लिए कनेक्ट फील करते हो, ठीक है, और अगर वो कनेक्ट रेसिप्रोकेट नहीं हो रहा सामने से, सो उसमें आपको एक्सपेक्टेशन दूसरे से नहीं करनी. आपने एक मतलब आई गिव यू दैट शाहरुख खान डायलॉग, एक तरफा प्यार, ठीक है, इट्स द सेम थिंग. यू डन फ्रॉम योर साइड, व्हाई डू यू एक्सपेक्ट द अदर पर्सन आल्सो टू रेसिप्रोकेट? उनको शायद आपसे कोई मतलब मिल रहा होगा, आज मतलब खत्म हुआ, इट इज़ ओके, ठीक है, बट आपने जब वो दोस्ती करी, आपने ये नहीं एक्सपेक्ट करना कि वो सामने वाला क्या कर रहा है. यू आर जस्ट डूइंग बीइंग योर ओन बेस्ट फ्रेंड. बस गॉड से आप ये क्यों जाके मांगते हो कि मुझे ये चाहिए इसलिए मैं आऊँगा और 10 रुपये दूंगा या 20 रुपये दूंगा? वाई? गो, God is giving me this life. I am doing the task that you've sent me for. I'm doing very well, and whatever you think you need to give it to me, give. You don't want to give, don't give. That's exactly the point you need to make.
Sure. How to stay up to date with the industry developments and the new technologies emerging in this era?
I think the way we started the entire discussion, where you need to have that greed of learning and being better than every version of yourself. आज की डेट में आपके लिए स्मार्टफोन्स आते हैं 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You need to update, you need to upgrade. That's there. So how do you do it? Is one, definitely if you're a student, you need to get into courses, develop your skills. If you're somebody who's already working, there is a lot of knowledge around. You don't even always have to go for certifications. It's in the internet is full of things. Okay, you can actually go have mentors in the industry, have mentors in your circle, have mentors who are your friends, have mentors who are your actually teachers who will actually help you learn a lot of things. If you're talking about AI in particular, it is bringing about a change, and there's no denying the fact, especially in the recruitment circle as well.
Ma'am, what do you think? Would AI replace humans or not?
It's a far-fetched question as of now. It will definitely not replace completely. However, it should be ideally used to complement. Okay, so that's extremely important. Though the emergence of AI and the integration of AI in today's world is extremely important and is bringing out beautiful changes. I don't have to wait to go through 3,000 CVs on my own if I have an AI-based application tracker system that can actually fix it for me. So why not? Use it to your advantage and bring that change across.
Ma'am, there are a lot of difficult times in the student's life, right? There are so many phases when they are used to lose the chances. Okay, so how to face that difficult time? Because at that piece of moment, student goes to in depression as well. Some of the time they got a mental stress. Although you tell about the mental stress as well, but in this perspective it is different.
Yeah.
So how to overcome that difficult times?
That's a very simple thing. You should invest the way you said in relationships and friends.
Okay.
Have a great friend around you. I don't think so that goes through. However, the biggest challenge today that I think you're absolutely right, that people don't accept failures. हमें fail होना नहीं आता. हम starting से वो strive कर रहे हैं excellence पे. मैं उनसे बेटर, वो उनसे बेटर, हम ये नहीं कर रहे कि मेरा खुद से कंपटीशन, मैं अपनी दुनिया से कंपटीशन कर रही हूँ, विच इज़ रॉन्ग. अगर मैं खुद से कंपटीशन कर रही हूँ, टुडे आई एम 7, टुमारो आई विल बी 7.2, देन आई विल बी 7.9. द डे आई स्टार्ट कंपेयरिंग द अदर्स आर 8 and I am 7, it's going to help me, actually lead me backwards, which is wrong. That is going to make me regret my decisions in life, put me through remorse, make me be unhappy and all that. It's important for me to realize and set proper expectations and then meet them. However, if you've gone through failures, I think every time you fall, you learn a little more and you get up and then you strive again. ठीक है? Whenever you're learning a new thing, ठीक है, हम एक कील ठोक रहे होते हैं, ठीक है, दीवार में, और इसमें एक आध बार कभी दर्द लग जाती है, चोट लग जाती है, विच इज़ ओके. हम ये थोड़ा ना कि घर में हम काम नहीं करेंगे, आप काम फिर भी करोगे. आप सब्जी काटोगे तब भी 2 बार चाकू लगेगा, कढ़ाई हिलाओगे तब भी 2 बार चीज़ें लगेंगी, विच इज़ ओके. सिमिलरली, इफ यू आर कोडिंग समथिंग, you will fail. Every time your code is not going to be correct. Okay, so it is fine to fail and accept that. Today's generation is not ready to accept, and which is leading to a lot of impatience, which is primarily the reason. And I think we need to start from the start. It's not going to happen right now. There are a lot of players in this. Your players being your parents, the first one, then being your family members, the surroundings, your friend circle. To keep patience is extremely important. That is going to be developed over a period of time, and that depends. If you see yourself losing patience every time, failing every time, sit, talk with your people, talk with your friends, talk with your mentors, talk with your family, and speak out. Why is it wrong to talk about failures? I think most of the people who know me personally would know that I talk majorly about failures because I think only a fool does not learn from others' mistakes. So you need to learn from your mistakes and accept it and wear it on your sleeve. What's wrong? आप failure से ही तो बने हो.
Ma'am, now we are moving ahead for the rapid fire questions. So are you excited?
Very much. Go ahead.
Okay. So my very first question: when do you used to wake up in the morning?
Around 5:30.
And when do you go to bed?
Around 11.
And ma'am, if you could be an animal, what would you be and why?
Probably if an animal, a dog. If a bird, an eagle.
And why?
Dogs just because they're very faithful and they love unconditionally. Eagle because it doesn't look at any storms, it flies above the clouds.
Okay. Do you eat or drink soup?
I have soup.
Okay, nice. And the very last, what are the last 3 searches of your Google?
What are the last 3 searches on my Google? Probably I have not searched anything today. Yesterday would have been some words that I would have searched because I was reading the editorial of one of the newspapers, so would have been just a few words there.
Okay. Ma'am, what do you think, what is the role of spirituality in the student's life?
Extremely important, irrespective whether it's a student or not. If you're talking about any of the qualities that a student needs to develop today or any person needs to develop today, it's extremely important that you work towards, yourself and be spiritually more contented. That's important. And today there's a concept that is called as spiritual intelligence. That's very, new in certain ways, still not new. We value a lot. The top performers of any of the companies or any of the sports, you would realize, have a routine. Okay, either a morning routine or they invest themselves spiritually. That is extremely important. That is where we are trying to encash and capture what journey people invest. And if you're starting young and if you're inclined towards it, that's best for you. Your focus, your consistency, your patience, your peace, everything comes from there.
Ma'am, now we are ending up with the session and I want some piece of advice from your side to enlighten our viewers.
Nothing be major, just one, that be yourself and be free. Okay, when I say free, so if you fall, you still get up, but embrace yourself. You have to get up and say, okay, I've hurt myself. Embrace that and just be yourself. That's extremely important today. Be confident there.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It was a very, very good session with you and I feel very blessed to have you on the show. Although I feel that our viewers also learned a lot of things from the podcast. And also, if you learn something, just pin drop your comments. I will just read it out. Ma'am, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? भूल गया मैं उसको.